What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So if you're on Social Security, let's say you're on fixed income, you're receiving about $1,400 a month. Where could you live? And so I want to show you the top 10 places, if you are on Social Security on a fixed income, top 10 places to live. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. But first off, on this channel, we talk about money, news, and more. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you don't see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so what I want to do, and the reason that I want to start focusing on the top 10, the top 5, start really focusing on things like this, because I think these videos are very, very helpful. And you guys can let me know what you think as well. So what cities should be on the list that aren't on this list. So let me go ahead and go over to this article here. And like I said, I will post a link so you guys can check out this article for yourself. But I thought this was really good. I thought it was really good as far as the cities that they picked. Now, they took the largest 143 cities in the U.S. So it's not just any city. We're not talking about some of the real smaller cities. We're talking about larger cities, and they wanted to do that because they wanted to be livable. So livability score, what's in that area? Do you have access to a lot of things like buses and in transit and different transit like that, maybe subways, that kind of stuff? Do you have access to other things? Are there restaurants in the area? Are there grocery stores, shopping malls, all that stuff, things that make your life a little bit easier? Because you could be living somewhere it's very, very inexpensive, but you're so far away from everything else that it costs a lot of money just to commute from place to place. So let's go ahead and take a look at the number 10. So we're going 10 to number 1. And then, like I said, this article has 20 different cities. So I want you to go over to that article. That way you can check out the different cities that ended up on the list as well. And then I want to know in the comment section, let me know what city you live in and maybe the cost of living in that city, and base it on rent and some of the other utilities that you have to pay. So when it comes to the top 10, Erie, Pennsylvania is on the list here. And we see that they give the rating of the cost of living at 81.5. So the livability score here is 71. Now these scores, this is stuff that they've calculated, so they might not really mean much, but when we're looking at it from 100% down, you can kind of figure out, okay, 71, that's pretty good. 81.5 is really good. And median rent is $859. So if let's say you have a fixed income and you're receiving the average Social Security of $1,400 a month. I say that's the average, okay? That doesn't mean everyone's getting $1,400 a month. That means some people are getting less and some people are getting more. So $859 for rent, that's not too bad. And you see here, over 1 in 5 people in the state are collecting Social Security. Now, this is important. So 1 in 5 people in Pennsylvania, in this area of Pennsylvania, are receiving Social Security. And so actually, no, they didn't even say this area. They said the state. So that means that people on Social Security have a lot of power, because the politicians in that area, they need to cater to people on Social Security. And so that is the first one on the list there, Erie, Pennsylvania. So let me know if you live in Erie, Pennsylvania. Let me know how life is out there if you are receiving Social Security, or if you're on a fixed income, if you're retired. Lynchburg, Virginia. Okay, so that comes up as number 9, and we're looking at a living cost of living score of 85.8. We're looking at a livability score of 79, and the median rent is $949. Okay, so it's a little bit more for rent, but like I said, you have to factor in some of these other things, livability, and so in the overall cost of living. Because you could, and I said this already, but rent could be $500 a month, but if you're in the middle of nowhere, that's not going to help much when you have to drive to the grocery store and spend twice or maybe even 3 times as much on gas just because of that. And so that is Lynchburg, Virginia. So let's go down to number 8. Number 8 is Killeen, Texas. And that is the cost of living there is 78.8 on the score, livability score 74, and the median rent is $934. So you're seeing Texas I saw a lot of Texas on this list. I also saw Ohio, as well as there was one other state. Was it Virginia? I'm not sure yet. We'll have to, after we get down the list, I can let you know. Indiana, I think it was Indiana. So El Paso, number 7 here. Now El Paso, Texas, cost of living there 83.6, livability is 80, and the median rent is $987. Now that's really good. When you start comparing these rents, the median rent, to something like California, Southern California, we're looking at median rents probably like $1,500. I would say between $1,300 and $1,500 for a 1-bedroom. So when you're looking at rents like this, and they don't specify if this is a 1-bedroom or not, but when you're starting to look at this, you really see the difference. I mean, you're not going to see Southern California on this list. You're not going to see California on this list at all. You're not going to see New York on the list. Maybe upstate New York, but the reality is these larger states with these real big metropolitan cities, they're not going to be on the list because it's so expensive. They priced a lot of people out of that market. Okay. Plus taxes are high. California taxes are high. State taxes high. So if you're retired, do you really want to live in California? Because you can move somewhere else. You're not you're not tied to your job anymore because you're retired. So if you move somewhere else, you don't have to pay the state tax, the high state tax. Okay. Akron, Ohio. Okay. And that is home of LeBron James. So the cost of living here, 79, livability score 69, and the median rent is $7. Wow, $751. So very, very low when it comes to your rent there. So just something to consider if you are in a situation. I had a couple people actually post this in the comments and telling me that they're really struggling. If you are one of those people that are really struggling, maybe moving would help you. Relocation would help you. Now I know it's not for everyone, especially if you have family in a certain area. The reason that I'm staying in California is because I have family in California. So it's not an option for me to move somewhere else. Even when I retire, I'm still going to stay in California. Okay, let's move forward here. Terre Haute, Indiana. Like I said, Indiana and Texas are you have the most cities from those states on this list. Cost of living here, 79.4. Livability score is 72. And the median rent is $711. So that's pretty good for rent there in Indiana, in Terre Haute. Okay, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I apologize if I'm offending people who live in that area. Okay, Lawton, Oklahoma. Cost of living here, 80.5. Livability score, 73. And median rent is $694. You see that rent is dropping. And so don't know anything about a lot of these places. I've never even been to. So if you guys have been to these places or you live in these places, please let us know down below. How is life there? Because that is the big thing. There are a lot of people that live in California, and let me switch off. We'll come right back. But there are a lot of people who live in California, and the main reason they live in California is because there's everything is here. You have the beach. If you want to go if you're living in Southern California, anywhere in California, really, you have access to the beach. Some places are further inland, so it does take a little while to drive to the beach, but you can still get there. And so a lot of people live in California because you have that access, as well as you have access to the mountains and the weather. The weather is a big deal, right? Because there's certain places that I don't want to live because I don't want to have to deal with snow. I don't want to have to deal with the extreme changes in weather. And in California, it's pretty much 70 degrees all year round. I mean, in the summer, yes, it gets hot, but then when it starts to cool off, we're looking at 60s, 70s. 60s is like really cold in California, at least in Southern California. So for the most part, California has everything. And if you want snow, guess what? You can get snow. You can drive to some areas, or you can live in some areas where it does snow. So you have the best of all the worlds when it comes to California. I think that's the reason why a lot of people are in California. Now, you do have a lot of people moving out of California. And I think a lot of those people, they're picking up jobs in different areas, or now we're looking at a situation where you don't have to go into a job. You can work remotely. And so that is a A lot of people are moving because of that. And so, and plus people are retired. When people retire, they move out. If you don't have family here, you don't have any real ties to California, you might move to Nevada, which is right next door. Stay in Las Vegas area, and you don't have to pay state tax or anything like that. And so that's why I think a lot of people are moving out of California for those reasons. Okay, so let's get back to our list here. So moving on down, we have Muncie, Indiana, another Indiana here. And the cost of living score here is 76.3. Livability score is 73. And the median rent is $758. All right, moving down, we're almost done here. We have Brunsville, Texas. Never heard of Brunsville, Texas. Cost of living there is 77.5. Livability score is 80. And then the median rent is $896. All right, and then we come down to the number one place, and that is in Texas as well. Wichita Falls, Texas. Cost of living here is 76.9. Livability score is 79. And the median rent is $874. So that rounds out the list. And like I said, I'll post the links so you guys can check out the all 20. So there's still 10 more cities that are on this list. And then let me know where you live. And if you are on a fixed income, let me know how you're handling things in the city that you live in. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.